zero in on Hololive Hololive Alternative, shortened to Fubuki, Zero In on Hololive, is a Hololive fan game based on the Hololive Alternative project, brought to us by developers PeopleSoft and publisher Phoenix Incorporated. Marketing itself as a high-speed pixel action game featuring Shirakami Fubuki, this title offers a challenging experience for Vtuber fans and enjoyers of the genre alike. For those of you unfamiliar with the rabbit hole that is VTubers, buckle in, there's a lot to explain. Hololive Production, more commonly known as just Hololive, is one of the biggest VTuber agencies in the world. Hololive Alternative is one of the projects, looking to explore the idea of an alternative world through different mediums. So far, they have released an ongoing manga and 2 animated PVs. There's also an online archive with information about the project named Holonometria. Okay, so this is the world Fubuki, Zero In on Holoearth takes place in. Now, who is Fubuki? Shirakami Fubuki is one of Hololive's talents and our protagonist here. Something has gone wrong in her home Yamato, and portals are going haywire. Only she can defeat the anomalies, equipped with her sword Morasame Maru and a range of different high-speed movement options. The first thing I noticed was how lovely the art is. Fubuki, Zero In on Holoearth features half a dozen stages, all with unique theming fitting the talent they highlight. Each stage has unique enemies with their own attack patterns and gimmicks, as well as challenging boss fights. Upon defeating the boss, Fubuki gets access to a new special skill, symbolizing the enemy she has defeated. The first thing I noticed about the game was the difficulty level. 3 different difficulty levels are available, and I started hitting a wall pretty quickly on the normal difficulty. It's worth mentioning that I don't normally play these kinds of titles. I just really like Hololive and was excited to give a fan game a try. So it might be what many will be quick to call a skill issue, but I found the difficulty to be quite punishing. You start with 5 lives, but falling off a platform, which happens regularly enough, makes you lose a life with no chance to recover it. So a game over isn't exactly uncommon. The visual clutter was the main challenge I kept rubbing up against. Obviously, this is a characteristic of the genre, but I sometimes found fonts hard to read or struggled to see the enemy animations hidden behind different particles and effects. Maybe the controls are pretty standard for 2D side-scrolling action games, but I was still surprised to see no controls on screen for the different movements that the tutorial taught me. In the end, I was able to figure it out by just pressing every button until I obtained the desired effect though. For full transparency, I switched to the easier difficulty halfway through and had a much better time, while still finding a good amount of challenge in all the stages. My progress also carried over, which was a nice surprise. And even so, even an amateur like me got to enjoy the beautiful backgrounds and lovely character sprites. Fubuki, Zero In on Holoearth definitely thrives if you're familiar with the source material, as there are a lot of little references that add a lot to the experience if you're a fan. For example, Marine states she's definitely 17 years old, Yagyu makes an appearance in the shop, and Miu's and Fubuki's mascots are summons you can use in combat. I don't want to spoil it all, so I will let fans discover which characters made it into the game themselves, especially since this is a pretty short title. Even though I needed several tries on pretty much every stage, I got to the credits around 2 hours in and breathed a sigh of relief that I was able to beat it. However, a beat later, I was sad that there wasn't more. I definitely could have played another batch of stages and enjoyed myself a lot, especially since there's a lot to unlock in the shop, with a bunch of upgrades, abilities, and Easter eggs didn't all get to enjoy. I would love to come back to it and see what other surprises Fubuki's Zero In on Holoearth has in store for me. If you're after a fast-paced and frantic 2D action side-scroller, or simply really like Fubuki, then Fubuki, Zero In on Holoearth, Hololive Alternative will easily offer a couple of hours of fun for you. It will release on April 12th and will be available via Steam. Kankan Kitsune! Noisy Pixel is giving Fubuki, Zero In on Holoearth a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching! This video is brought to you by our lovely supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers, providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. If you enjoyed this, please consider checking out our Patreon to support our continued growth, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. Thank you, and see you soon!
Noisy Pixel.